Right, I am knitting a sock blank on the knitting machine. A sock blank is a big piece of plain knitting, minimum of 100 grams, in a sock weight yarn. So this is a 4-ply. And the sock can be knitted straight from the blank, so you don't have balls of wool rolling around the place. Now, I've said a pure wool yarn or natural fibres, and the reason being is we're going to paint this blank, and so when the socks are knitted up, they're done, it's done as a self-patterning, and you don't know how the pattern's going to turn out until you start knitting. So first off, we've got to knit up our blank piece, and I've got, I don't know if you can see it there, my cone of yarn is sitting on some scales, so I can get a rough estimate of, I know how much yarn I started with, so I can keep going until I've done at least 120 grams. Now it's just done in a plain knit on a very loose tension, and how many needles wide is totally up to you. It's the amount of yarn you're using. So, and I'm doing this on my Toyota 901, and I am knitting, I've got it set at a tension 8. I cast on with some waste yarn, so I've got a few rows of waste yarn. I'll keep going until I've got my piece knitted up, and then I'll show you the next bit. Right, I've knitted up about 100 grams worth, and I've taken it off onto waste yarn. So I'm just going to take it off the machine. So there we go, there's our piece. And now we're just going to steam that lightly to hold its shape, so we can then paint it. Right, part 2 of the sock block. I've had the knitted piece soaking in some warm water, kept squeezing it, soaking it until the water penetrated right through to the yarn, squeezed out all the excess. I've now got it laying here on top of some foil, just on top of some old towels, because we're going to do the painting. And I'm doing the painting with these Kool-Aid. So I've got the strawberry, the grape, the ice blue raspberry and black cherry. So I'm now going to mix them up, and then we're going to paint on our design. I've got it pearl side up. So, right, I will get mixing those up, and then we'll get on with it. Right, the Kool-Aid is now mixed up. That one is the strawberry. That one is the grape. Oh, and we've got the blue raspberry. And we've got the black cherry. So, and it's mixed half a cup of hot water to 2 sachets. A sachet is 3.9 grams, I say 4 grams. And I'm using these sponge brushes for painting. So I've got this smoothed out best as possible, and I'm going to paint the design directly onto here. I suggest laying it on foil because we're going to use the foil to wrap it for the next stage. And I've got 4 of these sponge brushes, 1 for each colour, because I don't want to contaminate the colours. Now, Kool-Aid contains absorbic acid, and absorbic acid is a good natural mordant. So, let's get started. Now, I'm going to do a radiating circle. Now, I want to make sure that the Kool-Aid is actually going to penetrate all of the yarn right through to the back. So I'm going to carry on colouring in my sock block, and I'll show it to you when I've got it complete. Right, now I'm going to roll up a bit of artwork or painting, whatever you want to call it, into a loose roll. Just going to roll that. I'm just going to blot the tin foil. Take off all the excess. Right, then I'm going to roll up a big sausage in the foil, and I'm then going to steam it. Like a big and I'm going to crimp the ends. Right, and then I'm going to take it over to the pot to steam it. Now I'm going to use my electric pressure cooker. I've got some water in the bottom, and I've got a rack there because I don't want this sitting in the water. So I'm going to pop it in the pot like that. I just want to steam it. If you haven't got an electric pressure cooker, you can steam it on a normal stove, a steam basket or whatever. So I'm going to switch this over to multi-cook, and okay, and I'm going to do it for my lid ain't fitting on properly. Yeah, the gasket's come off, that's right. There we go, I'll start bringing that up to pressure, and I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. Now, like I said, if you want to do it in a normal saucepan with a steam basket or whatever, or just put some things in the bottom, something in the bottom of your saucepan to keep it out of the water. You don't want to submerge it into water, and you want to steam it for about 20-25 minutes. So we'll come back after this is steamed and show you the next bit. Okay, it's been heat set now, and I have taken out the foil. I have rinsed it several times in warm water, not to get rid of any excess, because when you put it in the water there's no dye that comes out. You can see how vibrant them colours are. And this is the knit side, whereas we were doing the painting on the pearl side. But they've really blended nicely, them colours. So it has been rinsed several times, and the purpose of the rinsing was to get rid of the candy smell. You know, a bit like fruit salad sweets, you know, chewy sweets. So yes, that is why it's been rinsed. Now I have tied a double knot in the wrong end for unwinding, and the right end for unwinding I have left without a knot. So it's just a case of take the waste yarn off, and you can actually see, oh, I'll show you, let me separate these out. On the actual yarn you can actually see some of the colour, and even on this bit, and how it's become the variegated. So it's not going to be bold colours like that when she knits it up. It's going to be more of a subtle variegation or ombre or whatever, you know, however the pattern comes out. How the pattern comes out, I've got no idea, because it will be a bit of this bluish colour, turquoisey colour, and then it'll go on to this dark colour. But as you look at the individual stitches, you'll see those colours. It's not a strong colour, it's actually multitudes of colours there. And then it'll go on to this again, and then so it'll go that backwards and forwards, and then it'll start breaking into the reds. And so that is the sock blank. So I'm now going to hang it up on a hanger to dry, and then I can wrap it up. I shall type up some instructions for her on what to do with it, and yeah, so that'll be given to her for Christmas, for her to knit up either socks, mitts, or a scarf or a hat or whatever she fancies knitting with it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you again soon on another video.